Salutations. Welcome to Cup of Joe with Poe. I'm your host, Don Poe. Today we're going to talk about why Sigma males, and Sigmas for that matter, the majority are really not good with money, broke. I mean, there's a lot to this to take in. I'm going to try my best to articulate this so you can understand better. If you don't know anything about what a Sigma male is, you have your alpha, your beta, you have different personality traits. Now, Sigma males such as myself, when I was younger growing up, I seen the clear path, which was go to school, get a job, get a family, work hard, reap the rewards of your hard work, retire, and that's your life. Like, I knew even then that wasn't good enough for me. That's not going to work. I don't want that. I don't want to sit into society's norm. I need a challenge. I need something more. Sure, I could work a 9 to 5 and could have been. I've been in different unions. I've had amazing jobs, but they never last because they don't challenge me, or I get bored with them, or whatever is going on in here at the time outweighs that work. To me, mental prowess, mental health is more important than anything. See, the path I'm on and the choices I've made through my life have put me in a position where I have nothing but the clothes on my back and this phone. But in doing so, it has awakened something inside me to see society for what it truly is. There is no more veil. I don't operate with blinders on. I don't operate seeing through googly-eyed glasses to where the world can be whatever I purvey it to be. No, it's only one thing, and that's reality. Now that I'm seeing this, it has truly enlightened me to the point where now I'm ready to build something beyond just this. Now, a lot of Sigmas will go into different trade skills and not last that long, but once they dibble and dabble into something, they can build their self. That's the problem, is we don't want to climb a ladder, we want to build the ladder. Take this in. Sigmas, we don't want to climb a ladder. We don't. We want to build the ladder, set the ladder up, send people up the ladder. That's what we want to do. We want to be at the bottom and the top of that ladder, to push the people up it and to receive them when they get to the top. We want to build the ladder. We don't want to climb the ladder. I'm not climbing no corporate ladder. I'm not working for someone else to make them money. I am not a push button. So being like that puts me in a position where I am lacking funds and money because I'm prioritizing mental prowess and I'm really trying to pick my wording correctly here. Not the prospect of the future, because the future doesn't matter. It hasn't came yet. To build something, like I said, building that ladder. Star Nation Network is one of the many ladders I have tried to build. Over the course of my life, I have tried to start many a business. I am an entrepreneur and I have failed time and time again, but I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as a learning curve. As I was going this trajectory, I was doing good, and something happened. Now, wherever that something is, that's what you're supposed to pinpoint on and say, well, this is the reason. Always look within self. Don't blame others first. Always assume it is your fault first, not someone else. Then if you find out it is, it is. But it makes the pattern more clear. You'll be able to see a more concise path to fix whatever it is that made you hit that downward curve, that shot off to the side. I am still on the first cup here, extremely tired. I just got done listening to a very informative, it's not a podcast, but it's just a video on Sigmas and why most of us are in this position we're in. Now, I do have something that others don't. Some do. But for the most part, a lot of people that have businesses and finance and they have a lot going on in their life, right? Well, they have a lot of headache. They have a lot of turmoil, a lot of frustration. Whatever these feelings are, they have a lot of them. Whereas I do not. I choose to shed all that and just live in reality that the most important thing is your health. Your health, no one else's. The most important thing is you. You have got to acknowledge that. You have got to start there. Because if you keep living for others, that's all you'll ever do until you die, is live for others. Live for you. Then they will reap the benefits of your health. A healthy mind, body, and soul will allow you to move through society effortlessly. Things get really hard for us. It gets really tight. One of our viewers, I seen in a comment this morning when I was checking my comments, didn't know that we were without home, that we are houseless, homeless. But yet we're not. We have everything. We have the skies above our head is our roof. The ground beneath our feet is the floor. We don't need windows and walls because we have the greatest view on earth. Earth. Sure, we want to get back into a home when it's the appropriate time, but we're not going to look at it as the end of the world. As a matter of a fact, it's a new beginning. It's a Toll Eckhart style of clearing the landscape of nothing, right? It's barren. Now you have the choice to mold the landscape, plant the plants you want to grow, water them, keep them growing, and then before you know it, you have this beautiful oasis that you have built. And where is that? Right inside here. So Sigma males and Sigmas, I try to refrain from just the male because there are Sigma females also. We have this ability to turn things off and on at will. We can allow people to antagonize us, but the reason we do is so that we can make a fool of them and show them, you shouldn't have fucked with me, you picked the right one, now deal with this. Or we can just brush things off and not let it affect us at all. I'm gonna tell you a story. Yesterday, we were here in this McDonald's, and I'm going up to get a coffee refill. There's a young man up there, and he's pretty upset. He's a customer, and he's complaining about one of the other employees that I have quite a good rapport with. I talk to, and I think he's a pretty good young man. I don't have an issue with him. Now, I noticed that he wasn't having the best day right when I walked in, but that's because I'm more apt to pick up people's emotions and feelings through their body language and just the aura around them. So I could tell he wasn't having the best day. So neither was this young man. So this young man's like, hey, I'll smack you, I will do this. Now he's so worked up, he's threatening the employee. Now, as soon as I seen the young man, I knew, like, he was well dressed, he was groomed, he wasn't, you could tell he had some sort of good upbringing about him. And then I noticed there was a woman and a child there, so I assumed it was his mother and his sister maybe or something. So my first thought is when I hear him threatening the employee is violence, and my body reacts immediately as soon as I'm hearing this and knowing that this young man over here is so upset he wants violence. So my body instantly, adrenaline rush, and now I'm feeling the the excitement. Oh, and then I had to calm myself down immediately. Like, whoa, this has nothing to do with you. He's no threat in any way. There's just try to help this situation. So, in the course of that, I look over at him, and I could tell right away where he was at, physically, mentally, and things like that. So I calmly said, because he told the young man behind the counter, he said, we can go outside then, and on and on and on. I said, I will. And he looked at me and said, I'll go outside. I'll go outside with you. I'll help you. Let me help you. And when I said that, it made him really think like, wait a minute, this dude, he's crazy, obviously, if he's telling me he wants to go outside and fight me to help me because I'm upset. And then he didn't really know how to take it. So he was like, what are you taking his side? And I'm like, there's no sides to take here. You're obviously going through something. You're really upset. And he's like, no, it's not about that. It's about principle. It's about morals, or it's about respect. And he didn't respect me. And I said, you're at McDonald's on Nimitz Highway, and you're throwing a big fit over pickles, bro. Pickles. If pickles can affect you to this point where you're this upset, who cares what he thinks? He's just an employee. He's like, well, and he's still getting irate. So I once again remind him, I said, look, man, I really will help you. You got a lot of frustration in you right now. You're built up. Now I feel that I'm getting somewhere because of our conversation. I really will help you. We can go outside and you can get that frustration out if you really feel like that's what you need to do, because I would rather see you do that with somebody that isn't going to hurt you and let you get that out versus trying to do something in here and maybe going to jail, and who knows what could happen. I try to talk sense to him, and he's like still stuck in his mind frame. He's young, bullheaded, stubborn. So he comes over to me a little closer, and he's standing there, and he's like wanting to act really childish now. You can tell he's in his early 20s, maybe 19. So then he takes that posture where he's got his hand in his other hand. And I've stood next to people, and I have sucker punched people, and I know the stance, I know the posture. So when he's standing there and I look at him and he sees me looking at him, I'm like, bro, look at how you're standing in front of me right now. Like, I'm no threat to you in any way, but you're standing here threatening me right now just with your posture, and you don't even realize it. And he kind of like looks at himself and then looks at me, and he sees me and he sees himself, and he's like, he realized everything I'm saying is the truth. He knows it now. Now he knows that it's there. And he's like, well, it ain't that. And I'm like, well, then what is it? Because it's over now, isn't it? You've expressed everything you needed to say. Everyone knows how you feel about the situation. All that's left now to deal with is you and your personal feelings that you have right now. You're harboring them. No, I'm not. I'm not mad. Just about respect. I said, okay, once again, everyone heard you. What more is there? Where do you go from here? What's the next step, man? What's the next step? And he's like, oh, man, whatever, bro. And I could tell he was done. So I go over and I sit down in my seat. And I'm thinking in my mind, after that interaction, like, this could go two different ways. When he walks by, first I have a hot coffee, too, and I'm thinking, like, if he really gets upset still and he wants to do something, then I'll just calmly splash him with this hot coffee and smack him a couple times and put him in his place. That's how my mind works. But on the other end, I'm like, man, he's just a kid. He don't know no better. And the last thing I'm trying to do here is catch some charge over some kid's attitude. Sit down, let him pass by. It is what it is. So he starts, and I made sure to tell him a couple times, like, man, I just want you to have a good day, bro. That's it. You want to have a good day, don't you? You control your feelings. You control you. Nothing else. I think that sunk in a little bit. So when I'm sitting at the table, he goes walking by, and he sees me, and I'm like, hey, man, just stay up, bro. And he's like, I know, man. And he had time to think. Now he's calm, and he thanks me. He's like, thank you, man. You know, I know you was just trying to help. And I'm like, I understand, man. I've been there. And he expressed it. He lost a family member. He's young and working and trying to take care of a lot of things that are on his plate. And I could see he was being truthful and honest. And I really felt something there. So he looks over and sees the cart, and I tell him, I said, look, man, it can always be worse. You could be homeless, like us. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your life, man. You got something going on here. And he's like, man, thank you. And he's like, you need something? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, nah, man, here. Pulls out $20 and gives it to me. Says, here, take that. So, you sure? And he's like, yeah, man, you already know. And he walks out. What a great interaction. Now, let's rewind all this. Normal people would either not say a word, be quiet. Now, if you were younger, I could see not saying a word to someone else younger and letting them, who are you to say anything to someone else younger? I'm older, and it's my responsibility as an older man, as an older gentleman, to help the younger. So when I see this young man having this episode, because that's pretty much what it was, it is my place to step in and say something to help, because I have expertise in this. I have a lot of knowledge and insight. So being a Sigma is not as easy as people think. Like the world is just going to fall at your feet for whatever purpose because you have some grandiose way of seeing the world and looking through a lens different than others. That's far from the truth. It's really hard to see things the way I do and operate the way I do. Others say, oh, well, it's no big deal. Do this, and this. Tell me what to do. Nobody will ever be able to do that. That's one of the, I wouldn't say problems or issues, but I'm so self-driven that I know I can go from point A to point B with just me. I may not like that trip. I may not like the outcome when I get to point B, but just knowing that is all the more fuel to pick others up for that adventure, for that ride, and bring them along, just as all of you have been here with us for this ride and this adventure. So there is a little bit of an explanation on why currently, financially, we are in a state of destitution or penury. And it is decision making. It does fall right here on these shoulders right here. It could always be worse. I could be dead. I could be strung out on something. I could be mentally incapacitated. I could be physically handicapped. There's so many things that could weigh against this to make it seem like this is heaven, paradise compared to other scenarios. So I don't look at it as it's that bad. Once again, remember, there's point A and point B, and that's your life in between. So what you do in between is what counts. Whether I make it or not, I live and I die. Whether they build a statue of me or not, whether they write my name down in a bunch of books or not, nothing will stop the fact that I will live and I will die. And this organic life right here is what matters more than anything. Don't get wrapped up in some spiritual, there's a whole nother life after this life. God saw to it. I'm not bashing your gods or anything, but check out the Middle East right now. They're over there killing each other in the name of gods. It's such a touchy subject, and I've turned so many away by telling the truth. The truth will upset people. I was lucky enough that in my household, there wasn't a lot of trickery. There wasn't pull the veil over my eyes. There was a Santa Claus to a certain point, but very shortly into my childhood, it was evident that, no, we're buying you this shit, not some made-up, fake, fictional person. Who would want to do that anyways? No, your family didn't get you anything. Some weird guy that rides around on a sleigh did it. You better watch out. You better think twice. Or no, whatever. Santa Claus is watching you or whatever. So he's some sort of weirdo peeping Tom that's watching children's every move. And if they do something bad, they don't get presents. More believable than Jesus. I gotta say that. Oh, excuse me. So, God's a whole nother story though. Remember the Torah, 2,000 years old. Christianity with Jesus, 1,500. You can't have Christianity without the Jews. You can't have Christianity without the Torah. You can't. You can't. Well, this has been Cup of Joe with Poe. I hope it's been somewhat enlightening. And hello, Paul. I'm sorry for ignoring you. St. Louis in the house. All right, Missouri. Not Missouri. Awesome area, actually. It's got some high crime around there, I'll tell you what. But you'll have that with any major city. You'll have that with any city, for that matter. But Cup of Joe with Poe. I've been your host, Poe. And if you do not know where you fall along the lines of what your how you move through life, is such as me being a Sigma. I didn't know that for a long time, so I was misguided. Find out what you are. Are you a beta? Are you an alpha? Are you maybe you don't practice or acknowledge any of that at all and don't understand it? We'll do a little bit of research on it and see where you fall along those lines. Be truthful with yourself and honest with yourself. That's where it truly starts, is with self. And then it just spills over into everyday life. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get an update every time I drop a video. This has been Cup of Joe with Poe. I hope you have a great day. One love.